The next concept I want to talk about is something that I believe that I haven't actually seen published anywhere or discussed by other like casino analysts in depth. But I personally believe that what I really like about casinos in terms of business economics is they are perfectly price discriminating. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you go to a movie theater, right? And then you look at the list of tickets, right? And they're usually by age demographic, right? So we have adult, teenager, kids, seniors, right? And adults usually pay the most. Adult tickets the most because they have the most purchasing power, right? Seniors might not have much incentive to go to the movie theater, right? They discriminate by age, right? But let's say, for example, I like Fast and Furious, right? That's a movie I personally like to watch. And whenever a Fast and Furious movie comes out, I would like to watch it in a movie theater because I like the surround sound. I like the big screen. The entertainment value to me is enough to incentivize me to go to the movie theater. And for me to watch a Fast and Furious movie, I'd be willing to pay. I'm making this up. Let's say I'm willing to pay $50, right? So to me, the value of watching Fast and Furious to me is $50, but they're only charging me $10 a ticket, right? So I'll happily pay $10 a ticket to watch it. And this is what usually happens, right? The reason people don't watch the movie when it's out on some pirated website or on Netflix is because they actually see the value. The value for them to watch a movie in a movie theater is greater than the cost of the ticket. What happens in this scenario? Well, even though I'm willing to pay $50, the movie theater is only charging me $10, right? So they lose. They could have charged me $50, but if they charged everyone $50, then very few people will watch the movie, right? So they miss out on that, right? So they missed out on $40 of worth of volume from me specifically as a customer, right? So how does this apply to casinos? Well, let me go through that. So there's some level of wealth effect in terms of the casino. And let me use a little extend example for this. So when I was in second year of university, I had a part-time job. I was selling cell phones, and at the time, minimum wage was $10, and I was also paid commission. So on average, I'd be paid $13 to $15 an hour. When I turned 19, the legal age to gamble in Canada, I went to go gambling, right? Because you're 19, you're able to do it now, so let's try it out, right? And I saw this lady; she was extremely lucky. I placed a $20 bet, I won. I followed her again. I placed another $20 and I won. So in total, I won $40, and I was extremely happy because my minimum wage was $10, $13 out. That was like 4 hours of work right there. And also Korean barbecue at the time was $25, right? All you can eat. So I felt awesome. Once I won that $40, I just left. I booked it. I took the money and left. Now, if I win $40, I don't really feel anything. It's not that much, right? I mean, anyone who lives on their own, like, what is $40, right? Now, when I go to a casino, my stop loss is $200, right? So if I lose $200, I'm gone. If I win $200, it feels better than $40 for sure, but it doesn't feel like that great, right? But I need $200 to actually feel something, right? Some level of joy. And if I lose the $200, I don't really feel anything either, right? So I hope that tells you about the wealth effect, right? So as your wealth increases, your burn rate, right? The point in which you actually feel something from winning the money or losing the money tends to lead to a higher bet size. Meaning, the higher your wealth, the more you're willing to bet, right? Because likely the incremental increase in reward from placing a certain bet is influenced by your wealth. The most extreme example, I like to use extreme examples to make a point, right? So Phil Ivey, right? At the height of his career, he was sponsored by Poker Stars for several million a year. He was a really good player, known as one of the best in the world. So his net worth, let's say, was around 10 million, let's say. And he in an interview said, for when he plays craps, he doesn't feel anything unless he bets 100,000. I think even if most people had a net worth of 10 million, they may not bet 100,000. But for sure, we can rationalize that someone with a net worth of $10 million, or for someone that just came straight out of college with a net worth of, let's say, $10,000, right? They will have different bet sizes, right? They'll have different bet sizes. And this is great for the casino because it means that each customer that goes to their door based on their wealth will perfectly price discriminate themselves. Okay? So they will raise the bet size up to the point at which they feel a burden. And that's the point I want to make. That is part of the business economics that I think is very crucial and what separates casinos that isn't really seen in other businesses that I find is very interesting.